You better get out of here, honky.
Now for something completely different.
Well, two honks and Kim just messing around. You'll never know what they talk about on two honks. Two honks and Kevin. You might hear something about the NBA. Maybe they'll just make your day on two honks and Kevin. It's sports and life and family too. Let's all listen to two honks and a Kevin.
Yeehaw! I just crap my pants. I've got moves, man.
All right.
That never gets old.
That's the first time we played it since Jared's been on here with us.
Yeah. It is April 7th, 2021. What's going on, guys?
Not much, man. Richard just got us hyped up. He was playing DMX before we went live. We all were feeling like we were back in high school.
Yeah, so I decided to go ahead and just do a little pre-show. Thought we'd get the thoughts going a little bit with the pre-show, and as long as nothing out of control is said, I'm gonna just drop that on the audio as well. So if you're interested in that, you can get 5 extra minutes, and it'll be good time.
That's what she said.
You both said that.
I said 5 good minutes, not 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
They just want-
I think we're gonna just. You guys want to start with the wheel, and we get this going?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we got some.
roll out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring up the topics.
There we go.
That's a lot of topics this week.
Uh-oh.
2 years. Next week marks our 2 years of the podcast.
Wow.
Just kind of want to put that out there. I only know it because it was also the same week as my wife and I's anniversary.
Nice. We'll celebrate your anniversary and our anniversary. Which anniversary?
That's right.
There you go. Yeah, I'm
That's right.
sure your wife would love for all of us to go out on a date with you guys.
Yeah, right.
He'd be like, "Honey, we're gonna save money. We're not gonna do 2 different dates. We're just do it all at
We're
once."
all gonna do one. Yeah. Not only that, but I'm gonna bring this podcast recording equipment with us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're gonna record the whole conversation.
Capture it all.
Matter of fact, can you hold the camera, please?
Yeah.
A
Wait,
little bit more light this way.
Yeah. So yeah, two I don't know, fun years.
Yeah, man, it's been
uh,
fun.
Went from shitty Craig to recording off a Mixer and Adobe and Restream now. So we've made some leaps from shitty Craig to actual video. So yeah, I think we're making okay progress.
a lot of memories, a lot of fun conversations.
Yep.
A lot of breakthroughs and a lot of Blake sucking at technology.
says the guy that's still using the mic that he started with.
Yeah. And are you still using your phone?
Working.
Are you still using your phone too?
Yeah, I'm using my phone today.
Okay. Today or pretty much all the time?
Probably 70% of the time.
You think?
Yeah.
70% of the time.
He's like, it is what it is.
It works. That's really it. This day.
Hey.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll elaborate on that. I was actually kind of thinking about it today. I didn't realize it was almost 2 years, but I was just, with me trying to start my own or whatever, like there's stuff that you guys, that we've done, mainly Richard, to be honest with you, that's done that immediately makes this feel a little bit more professional or more serious, or like, hey, it's not just 4 guys getting on a Zoom call, and because I was thinking about that with mine. I was like, I want it to already look advanced before I launch it, because I want to get people's attention,
Mm-hmm.
So I am proud of this, man. It's fun, man. I think we have I don't know how many listeners we have now, but I get text messages throughout the week from different people. So I know there's some people find it entertaining, and I mean, look, I think we all will say that we appreciate your guys' time. We appreciate you guys. We talk about it all the time on the podcast, how there's so many options, so for someone to kind of listen to us, boneheads talk for a little over an hour. I mean, I appreciate it.
Yep, keep listening because we're always on the verge of getting ourselves canceled. Just wait.
Absolutely. We're
Just
trying,
wait.
actively trying right now.
Yeah.
yeah. You'll never know when the last episode will come, but
Yep, just so you know what we're talking about.
That's why you guys invited me on as the extra honk.
That's right.
Yeah,
yeah, just in case.
that
We're not
triple
changing the
honk
name.
action.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
not changing the name.
Blame it on you.
Because Richard's
yeah.
bound to get canceled
Oh,
sooner
yeah.
or later.
Yeah,
By in time.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's cool.
Next. All right. UFC's new deal. Is this with Venom, Kevin? Because you brought this up.
Yeah, I sent it to you because I like the clean, sleek look, and I remember all the athletes complaining about the Reebok deal. Is
Yeah.
there any difference in the Venom deal that gives the athletes more money?
$500 more.
Is that it?
That's it. And I think the main event might have got like $1,000 more. It is like, I mean, dude, I love that sport, but what they're doing, like GSP was actually talking to on Joe Rogan, not necessarily in a negative way. He said, when you see the bottom of a big fight, you see UFC. Like you don't really see the fighters like on ESPN or whatever. Like it is very much the brand UFC, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
the sport is MMA, right? But everybody calls it UFC. So they've done a phenomenal job of branding themselves and making themselves the most powerful, mixed martial art organization out there. But for those that don't know what happened.
Yeah, what is Venom? I've never heard of Venom.
Okay. So fighters the reason why I'm trying to go down this path of why it bothers me is because fighters used to be able to go out and get their own endorsements. Okay, Brendan Schaub said he's the one that I heard him talk about this deal. He didn't talk about it as much as I thought he would, to be honest with you, but he said he was getting $35,000 just for a front patch on his quad or whatever, right? And then like the back, I think it might have been 40,000 or something like that. So he said he was making about $100,000 a fight just
for a mid card fighter.
Yes, yeah. And at that time, I don't know if he was a top 10 fighter or not, but I think his contract was probably he came from the Ultimate Fighter, so it was probably like 10 and 10, And then I remember him saying when he fought Crow Cop, he actually knocked him out, but he walked away with like $14,000. He got paid $14,000, and after he paid taxes and coaches and all that, he made like $7,000. And this is a professional athlete at at an elite level, right? It's just crazy to think. But meanwhile, the UFC is making bank on that. So, with all that said, Reebok came out. So basically, the UFC said none of these fighters can get endorsements anymore. We are going to have everyone's going to be sponsored by whoever gives us money, right?
The major brand, yeah.
Exactly. And there was a bidding war, so to speak, and Reebok ended up winning it. Reebok sponsored everybody. Well, all the fighters immediately absolutely hated it, didn't want to be a part of it because they were making more money. Some of these guys were getting like $2,000 when they were out making maybe 20 or 30,000, right? So anyway, so now, that deal was awful, and I really thought that this next deal would be great, but it sounds like it's a little bit more money, but it's still not what these fighters, were kind of used to getting. So yeah, so there's kind of the history of it, if you didn't know.
So is Venom an alternate clothing brand, or is Reebok still involved in some way, shape, or form?
No, Reebok was like, we out of here.
Okay.
Longer.
What is Venom?
I think it's just a clothing brand, right?
No.
I don't know. I don't know where I've seen it.
I swear I've seen him on like
I've seen like commercials before, like maybe like motocross or something like that.
Yeah,
No.
I've seen him on like drinks and stuff too.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
VENUM. Is it gear? UFC reveals new Venom fighter uniforms. Combat Sports by what is Venom is what I'm trying
Yeah,
to
here it
figure out,
is.
people.
Venom is a manufacturer of apparel and equipment for various martial arts, combat sports, and fitness, including cross training, mixed martial arts, boxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Operates in several areas around the world: America, Europe, Asia. It will be
Wow.
official outfitting partner of the UFC in 2021. Created in
Okay.
2006.
So that's really interesting because they're not a huge brand. So that makes you wonder, do the Nikes, Under Armour, Adidas's, all those guys not want in with the UFC? For Venom to be able to come in, right? I mean, now I think it's great that
Maybe
it is a company that represents the sport. You know what I'm saying? It seems
right.
like it sells the apparel. I like that. But I find it interesting that you would think if Nike wanted to sponsor all these guys, right, that they would have won a bid over Venom.
Right.
Right, because wasn't like Under Armour sponsoring GSP, and then like Nike was
Right.
John Jones. So you think they want a piece of the pie, but do you think the UFC ruined it by just signing Reebok?
Well, yeah, I
It
think
just
they, I
added
mean,
friction to it just added friction to the relationship of the other bigger companies.
right.
They probably didn't want to have
maybe.
to. They probably didn't want to have to. Like a GSP or Jones, or they were loyal to Under Armour or Nike or whoever, and then to try to get in there and convert guys over or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, like John Jones kept his Nike deal, and so did Anderson Silva. Well, John got dropped when he got the DUI and whatever else he got into, but so yeah, it's I really didn't look too much into it, but and I honestly haven't heard too many opinions on it if it's a good deal for the fighters. But I mean, in the end, the whole endorsement thing kind of screwed these fighters because it really doesn't. I mean, like literally what it would be is the NBA saying, "Hey, I don't want LeBron James to be a brand." Just like they're saying they don't want GSP or John Jones to be a brand. You would think they'd want them to. You would think they would build John Jones up so high that he's bigger than the UFC, but they don't. The UFC I think for the UFC, all they care about is if someone says, "Oh, there's some fights on this weekend, let's go to B-Dubs and watch the UFC fights." Like, I don't think they really care if people know who's fighting, if that makes sense, right? I mean, I'm sure they care. I mean, they promote their fighters. Don't get me wrong, but it's like they don't allow them to go get their own endorsements, which I think is what I would think they would want that, right? Because it just makes them more popular. Therefore, people tune in to watch. It just makes smart business sense to me that way.
Right. I mean, it should be similar to basketball, where it's like, the NBA has somebody who makes all the jerseys for all the teams, and then granted, they're fighting, so they're not wearing shoes or anything like that, but like,
all they have is their underwear.
Yeah,
when
but
they're
like
in there,
but like the NBA, like Jared said, the NBA, they have one person make all the gear. Each stadium is sponsored by like Smoothie King Arena, right?
Yep.
They got sponsors like that. Athletes are allowed to wear whatever shoes they want to ride, basically, on who endorses them.
Yeah.
right,
So just
but
more money.
right, but like, for example, I think I don't know if Nike's the uniform right now, but if you're Steph Curry, who's Under Armour, he still has to wear the Nike, know, but he's still allowed to go have business with Under Armour, which I think in all reality, the deal that the UFC has for the sponsorship situation, they're still allowed to do that.
Right.
So like if Kevin was a fighter, like he could still go get a Nike dealership sponsorship if he could, right? So they can still do it. It's just, when Reebok is the main sponsor, it made it very difficult for these guys to really branch out and get their own,
Right.
sponsors,
Right.
So but meanwhile, the UFC was splattering the cage with different sponsors, but the fighters couldn't get a piece of the Harley Davidson, of the, whatever Coors Light, but it's just crazy. I mean, it's so unfair to me.
Let's say I remember the early days when it was like
Full Tilt Poker and like, you know,
Condom Depot.
yeah,
Yeah.
like just random guys, you know, random sponsors on guys' shorts and their shirt
Right.
and the little, you know, thing they hold over the edge of the octagon while they're getting
Yeah,
introduced.
the banner.
Exactly.
Banner,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't see that anymore.
And look, and a lot of that was just these local people's like barbershop or restaurant. Yeah, I'll give you $1,000. Yeah, I'll give you $2,000. You know, and they're just like, cool, man, thanks. Like, you know, it was just a way for them to pay their bills and everything else. So, anyways, there's a lot of stuff that I think in 20 years, 10 years, we look back on the sport that we've been watching for the last however many years, and we're gonna be like, man, I cannot believe the stuff that they were able to get away with. But I don't know. I say that, and then again, I say people are aware of it. They're doing it now. I mean, they got evaluated at like $2 billion, you know, and they got some fighters fighting for $7,000. It's just
Crazy.
it's just crazy, you know, and they don't pay their insurance. Like it's like, I mean, they literally
does
are
that?
like, UFC
UFC.
doesn't pay for their insurance.
What?
Like if you get hurt training, unless you're training for a fight, they will not cover your medical expenses. It's insane. It's insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't afford it.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. I would like to, it just, I don't know.
They're getting away with it, so it's
But hey,
working.
man, Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, July 10th, my house. Can't wait.
Right. There you go.
You know, I'm still going to watch. All right.
Next up,
Spin
Let's
it.
do it.
NCAA tourney.
Oh, man. Love me some shiny moment.
Yeah. I'll just say that the game leading up to the final game was the best game I've ever seen. I mean, the UCLA versus Gonzaga was just it's why you watch basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the championship game was horrible. So whatever.
Right. And now you could tell how evolved these players are because they're hitting shots that they would not have hit 10 years ago.
You know what it made me realize? How bad IU was.
Yeah.
Like seriously. Because I don't really watch any other college ball besides
You
IU.
needed that to know how bad they were?
Yeah. So, like I saw like all these guys were hitting shots and I was like, oh, people do this? I just thought everyone only did it against IU. Like I didn't know the whole league, you know, could hit this many shots.
Right.
I just love how Indiana pulled it off. Like between every game here locally, you know, between Lafayette and Bloomington and all the spots downtown, like.
And there was no cases, right? There was really no big media that they could blow out of proportion. I don't feel like.
Well, didn't they have like one or two teams like shut down?
One team that didn't make it.
There you go.
But that was something before they got to Indianapolis.
Right.
Right.
Because there was one team that got it. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, they didn't have to delay any games. Everybody stayed safe. Fans participated. You had a bunch of good games leading to the final game.
Like every
what you could
UCLA
expect
game went. I think every UCLA game went to overtime.
Yeah, it was like a roller coaster. They played a slow
2 or 3
tempo game
games in the tournament. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I think they had 3. I would think that's a record.
It was. I'm pretty sure it was. In the same tournament.
If not, we'll just say it was, and people will believe us.
We don't have fact checkers on us.
Kind of like what I just said about the UFC contract. I've never seen one. I don't know if I'm telling the truth or not, but I'm pretty sure I've heard it.
I think so.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah. Overall, it was a good tournament, especially after missing the tournament the year before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I probably should have went downtown one night just to take it all in, but
I
ain't
did.
got time for that.
Yeah.
All right, let's spin the wheel.
Next up,
I like how you're taking some off of here as we go so we don't get the same ones over and over.
Uh-oh.
We're evolving.
You went down. Oh,
Did I say butthole part 2? 3?
No, this is 3 butthole stories in a week on this pod. It was mass
Butthole.
shootings.
Butthole.
It was mass shootings every week. Now it's butthole conversations.
Butthole. Butthole.
Is this one about you, Richard?
Is this
So-
your one?
This is a two-pronged conversation. The first one's about
Okay.
me. The second one's continuation of the Deshaun Watson.
Oh wow. Which
so
one
I
do you want to go to first?
I had to get the old rectum checked, right?
Right.
Ooh.
So this happened yesterday.
This
And
first time?
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
uh, I actually grimaced so hard that I chipped a tooth. So now I got to go to the dentist.
What? Oh my god.
Wow.
This is the best story ever. Keep
Hey,
going.
hey, so what's the setup? Is like the nurse like, hey, you need me to hold your hand or something like that? Or
He was
just like,
so-
here it comes?
Richard-
Or-
How it went. So
Richard was so scared that he was gonna come out on the other side,
oh yeah,
liking men.
I wasn't
that he
scared of that.
clinched.
No, I wasn't scared of that.
I'm just kidding.
I was like, whatever happens. This is on you.
I can't control my life from here on out. This is on you.
This
Oh,
episode
so
is called
funny.
Richard Gets His Oil Checked.
That's right.
There you go.
I guess technically it's something you should start doing at the age of 45, but I'm high risk. So they wanted me to do
Yeah.
it starting 40. So I went to go get the blood work done. Blood work came back okay, but I guess the blood work doesn't really necessarily indicate 100% all the time. The best way to 100% check is through feel.
You're like, oh, great. The guy that hates being touched has to get filled.
Yeah. And so I'm sitting in there and she's like talking to me, man, and like we're like having an okay conversation. And I know it's leading up to this. Like she's just trying to get me to be comfortable with the room. Like I know where this is going. And she's like, all right, well, you
Get
know,
loose.
your blood work came out okay, but I still want to kind of do the check. And she's like, do I have your consent for that? And I was like, I wanted internally. I was like, no, but you know, it is what it is. So I was like, yeah.
Just think of. Go ahead.
And so she's like, okay, I have to
It's what it is. I'm not doing anything else today. Yeah, let's go ahead and do
it's early,
it.
and I don't care. And
I've waited for this day my whole life. Let's go.
that's right. This is why I only have had female doctors. And so,
That's hilarious.
so, 'cause, dude, you don't want some sausage finger man doing it. Like that.
don't want
Her
Sh-
hands
you
were
don't
the
want
size
Shaq-
of Andre the Giant.
Dude, I don't want.
You don't want Shaq walking in.
It's not so much about as it being a female as it is the size of the hand. So
I feel so uncomfortable for
I
you.
could go so many ways.
I
Yes,
know.
I'm dreading the day.
All right. So she's like, I gotta bring a nurse in, and I'm like, God, now you gotta have two people doing this.
Ugh.
Mhm.
So she brings the nurse in, and she has me like take my pants off and sit down, and I put like this blanket over my legs or whatever, and she's sitting there, she's talking to me and whatever, and so she's like, okay, I'm gonna I want you just to lay down, and I'm just gonna check your stomach or whatever. So she's
You
sitting there
laying on your
to me.
back.
Yeah, she has me laying on my back, and then checks my stomach. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Just love.
See if I had poop in my stomach, she would know what was going on.
Right.
So
Can I ask some questions, Richard?
I
Yeah.
love how Kevin just randomly cracks up laughing.
I'm just visualizing it, man.
dude,
Can I ask a question?
yeah,
Like a serious, slash, kind of personal question.
Yep.
Did you manscape down there before you went?
oh, none of that. No, she didn't look at any of that.
Oh,
Okay.
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 That was cool. But to answer
Did you know this was a possibility before you were going?
what's that?
Did you know that this was a possibility before going?
This is the whole reason I went.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could have been prepared in that situation.
I was
That's what I'm trying to get to.
yeah, I was
cleaned
fully prepared
You
mentally.
cleaned. Yeah, you cleaned your butt before you
I
left.
took a shower for like an hour. I
You're a
cried
good
a
man.
little bit.
You're a
I
good
shaved
man.
my balls for
Richard.
this.
That's right.
Baby powder.
But yeah, to answer your question, I did.
LeBron James.
I didn't want to be rude about it.
You're killing me, Kevin. He's like, I'm about to get my booty checked. I'm just LeBron James, just throwing baby powder everywhere.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! All right, so you're on your back. She's
Yep.
checking your stomach.
Yep. And she
Okay.
tells you to lay on your side. So I have to lay on my side. And then she starts talking me through the process. She's like, okay, I'm going to have you kind of lift your left leg up towards your chest. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. And then she's
So,
like,
hold on. So, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go
What's
ahead,
what's the garment? Is your
Where's
back just exposed?
Oh,
Or is your
yeah.
cover-
I have a shirt on.
Okay.
And that's it.
That's it.
Just
Okay.
like
So
a
your
regular
junk.
Saturday night in the Brown house. That's it.
What'd you just say?
Yeah.
Say that again.
So just like a regular Saturday night at the Brown house. That's it. That's it.
Just Richard walking around with a t-shirt on.
Yeah. He's walking around.
This is the
he
best
has one of
story
those.
we've.
He has
This
one
is
of
by
those
far
garments.
our best story.
Yeah. He has just one of those garments laying around when you get checked, and it just
right.
has an open back.
Okay,
You
all
walk
right.
around now.
So I got the visual picture of you
So
naked
I got
with
my
your
Captain
super.
America shirt on, and that's it.
I knew it. I was
That's
getting ready
it.
to say I was gonna say your Superman shirt on, but
Nope.
it was your Captain America.
I got my
shirt on.
Captain America shirt on, no socks, no pants, no nothing.
Oh,
The doctor
Vulnerable.
and the nurse are both standing there. And so the nurse is like, or the doctor's like, roll over on your side. So I do it. And then she's like, I'm just going to gently lift your leg up and push your knee towards your chest. And I said, all right. And then she's like, okay. So now I'm applying the Vaseline. And this is when you know it's going down. Like it's go time. Like, this is what's up right here.
oh, it's such a weird moment, dude.
This
You
is
can't
what's
prepare for this.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing is that you kind of go into it like what's about to happen.
Right.
She's about to stick the old finger up there. What you don't understand is the amount of force that she's about to use.
It's not gentle at all.
Man.
Dude, like I kind of like expected, like, okay, let me just kind of, you're good. That was it. Like there was nothing.
You wanted to at least tickle it. Where's
There
the
was nothing.
foreplay at?
It was just like boom, swoop and out. Like it was so
Quick.
painful, dude.
Oh, really?
Like it.
Like you get a tear in your eye.
I got tears in my eyes, and she
Yeah.
knows that I did because she was like, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "No, it's fine. It just." I said, "I'm fine. It just fucking hurt."
Hold on.
I was like,
Do you
Jared
think that
just
she
spit
went?
out his drink.
Do you think that she went past the knuckle?
She went probably third digit.
Kevin trying to ask if she went past the knuckle.
Oh,
Oh, my God,
man.
I'm dying
And it
right
was with
now.
like force, and I bit down so hard I chipped a tooth, and I was like, God, now I gotta go to the dentist.
Uh-huh.
It's because I got to get this chip taken care of now.
Was it a front tooth?
Yeah, it was my bottom front tooth.
You know, my favorite part is that you've sat on this for
Always.
this podcast. You
Yep.
didn't
Yeah,
mention
always.
it at any. We knew you were getting it done, but we really didn't talk about it. And I'm so glad you waited. dude.
We wanted you to open it up about it when you felt comfortable.
I
Because you obviously got violated.
dude, it was like, and then she sat me up, and she looks at me, and like I know she's seen the tears in my eyes because all I got is a mask on, so the only thing you can see is my eyes. And so like she starts talking to me like a mother would.
Oh
Like,
my goodness.
oh,
Is she older, or younger?
She's older. She's older. She's probably mid-50s.
Mhm.
So she's
Think-
talking to me, and she's like, I'm so sorry. I know that was uncomfortable, but we had to do it. We had to check, and like just trying to like, cause she like I'm not upset, but Jesus, it hurt. So I was like, man, so yeah, there are tears in my eyes. Like,
Well, yeah.
I bet you this is what Deshaun Watson tells the masseuse.
so
Sorry, yeah, I had to go that way.
yeah, it was so
He brings his mouthpiece.
I'm
Yeah.
just warning you guys. Yeah, I'm warning you. Number one, bring a mouthpiece so you don't chip your tooth. Like,
You should have talked to Sean before you went, man.
dude. So yeah, so that was
awesome.
hilarious.
pretty much my experience. Pretty interesting.
Did they
Oh,
let like I would need like all right, like this is how I envisioned. Like that happens, she give you the wrap up, and like you're not listening to any of that. Like you're just recalling like I'm hurting right now. I need like 5 minutes before I can show my face outside of this office.
That's the other part. The nurse that did it too was at the front desk when I went out there, and I was like, God, man,
Oh man.
my butthole.
You gotta take.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a shot before I go.
Yeah,
Like,
But
yeah,
but imagine being them, the
Yeah.
nurse that
yeah.
has to bend over men all day long and stick a finger up their butt.
It's nothing. It's every day.
Oh, I know, but it's
think of how many bad buttholes they've seen or smelly buttholes, and just like
oh,
no matter how much you washed it, like this dude stinks.
yeah, he stunk walking in here.
Came straight
Oh,
from the
man.
auto shop.
Just got off work.
Oh god.
Yeah, they're pulling
I'm
it back, and they're like this.
She doesn't even need Vaseline because he's got so much grease on him. It just slips right. It's the
Just
quickest
sweat.
oil change I've ever done
just-
there.
It's just swamp ass just getting it lubed and just
So nasty, dude.
You know what it reminds me of? Do you guys ever watch the show Impractical Jokers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a guy on there. His name's Murr, and one of his punishment was he had to get the prostate exam in front of a crowd of people.
Hmm.
oh my god.
No way, man.
You
That's
can find that on YouTube for your viewing pleasure.
Yeah, man. That's a. But listen, I mean, it's obviously such a crazy experience. It's probably why a lot of guys don't do it.
Yeah.
Right? I
Right.
mean, it's because like you said, like something's gonna happen to you that's never happened to you in your life, right? And as a
I have
grown
no
man,
idea how badly
Yeah.
I wanted to cancel it. I was just like in my mind
yeah, I was
trying
gonna
to
say,
rationalize why I could cancel this. I was like, look, I feel fine. My blood work came back okay. Like
Yeah.
I don't see why I need to go.
Right.
Like, as I was walking to the car to go, I was like, I wonder if it's too late for me to cancel this.
I
so
wonder.
was your anxiety pretty high?
My blood pressure was through the roof.
Really?
They even mentioned like your blood pressure is really high right now. Like it was like
I'm about to get the finger up in me.
94.
Yeah.
And,
Were you pretty open with them? Like, hey, man, I'm a little nervous about this, and I'm kind of.
Oh, they
freaking
knew
out,"
I
or-
was fidgety. My blood pressure was high. I think that's why she was like talking to me for like 20 minutes beforehand.
Right.
She was trying to date you.
Yeah.
She was like, listen, I'll take you on a date just to warm you up, man.
Yeah.
You want to go get something to eat first?
For
You gotta bring your
real.
wife with you on those appointments.
Yeah.
Well, the
Yeah,
other
so they
thing
can
I
laugh at you.
understand about me is my wife has been my only partner.
hmm
Okay.
So her and the doctor, that's it.
Right.
hmm
So like I was like, well, I don't, this is what it is. So I think
Yeah.
the extra anxiety kicked in because of that. And I'm just like, I don't know.
And it's kind of like what Jared said. Like, they're used to it,
Yeah.
but we're not. So it's like it's
Right.
such a big deal to us when to them it's like, look, I get it. You're uncomfortable, but I do this every day. Just bend over. Let me do
Today
this.
is office.
You're gonna get shocked. You're probably gonna chip your tooth,
I-
but it's gonna be worth it.
Worth your health.
It hurts.
So now are you set up yearly to get your oil changed?
I think it's every
Basically.
5 years. The
Oh,
blood
every five.
I think has to happen every year, maybe, but I think it's like once every few years.
Right on. Right
So
on.
it'll
Well,
change
good. I
that.
mean, good for you for doing it. I mean, it's something we're all gonna have to do, and I mean, I know my
Eventually,
dad's
yeah.
had to do it, and but hey, man,
Yeah.
what
I
what
took
do
a
they
few
say?
showers that day.
What'd you say?
I took a few showers that day.
I went and visited a priest just for the heck of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
I
Make
said,
sure you're
I
extra
said-
fresh.
said a prayer to all the gods. Just
Nice.
So just a quick continuation of the story. I guess one or two of those ladies did end up filing criminal complaints.
Mhm.
And Nike has suspended their deal with him, and Beats has basically canceled their deal with him.
Mhm.
So I guess there is some progress happening. However, the person that is filing the criminal charges first tried to get $100,000 out of him.
Yeah.
Is that not blackmail?
I would think it is. Did they? Is it a situation like I just want $100,000 and I won't tell you anybody? Basically,
Yes.
That's blackmail.
yeah, that's blackmail.
Yeah, and it's in writing. Like
Yeah.
I guess whoever the attorney for them contacted Deshaun's manager, and it's all in writing.
Mhm.
How is any of this, whether or not he did it and the act of it is okay, is that's in of itself. Like I don't know
Right.
what happened, but you can't blackmail them and say I won't tell if you give me $100,000.
Right.
Right. And also another interesting thing was I guess 18 masseuses have come out in favor of Deshaun, saying that
saying that he was a good guy. Yeah.
saying all those massages were normal, and that it's normal for an athlete to want their glutes and groin or massaged or whatever. Like it's completely normal for sports masseuses to do that.
Right.
Right.
So they're all wondering, maybe they weren't licensed masseuses, and so they felt. So I don't like. So once again, I don't know, but it's just a weird saga, right? It's like one of those things where, gosh, I don't. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what the outcome is.
Because it sounds like they were getting notes from his trainer to say, "Hey, this is what we recommend that Deshaun has. Like
Yeah.
he's had groin injuries, issues. Like he needs this massage like this, right?
Right.
It's just weird. It's just weird. It's just sketchy. And like I said, the only thing that makes him look bad is like he's just like hitting up the masseuses on Instagram, basically. Like that's his source of finding them, right?
But how do you
But-
find a masseuse?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
mean,
don't
what's
know.
wrong
Yeah,
with that though? Like
Can't
I
go
don't think.
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, that's how people hook up nowadays. That's how people start
Right,
dating
right.
is through Instagram or through these apps. So, and I mean that's something to think about too. Is like a lot of these athletes and even our kids. I mean that's probably going to be their way of meeting people. Is through social media or through different apps or whatever. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but maybe you can get to know somebody a little bit better before you go out with them just by viewing their profile, I guess. But I don't
Right.
know.
All right. Well, that's it for that.
Well, that was
Move on.
fantastic. It's gonna be hard to beat that.
I feel better after Richard got his oil changed.
Here we go.
Oh my gosh, dude,
What?
we went.
Trash
Let's just
dining.
okay.
Let's
first of all,
start
this
it off.
Yeah, this was last night at like what 10:30.
It was so
10:30.
late.
I'm coming. Yeah,
Kevin
I'm
lit-
coming back from Texas Roadhouse. Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, Kevin drops the knowledge of Texas Roadhouse sirloin is like the best steak.
No,
And
no, no,
then
no.
Richard-
Filet. I don't mess with sirloin.
Oh, filet.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah.
And then Richard calls it white trash.
Daddy.
Which anytime he calls something white trash, it makes me laugh because I'm like, he's got such a long list of things that he thinks are white trash. I didn't know Texas Roadhouse was on it.
I feel like the state of Indiana in general, like, encompasses white trash.
It circulates it.
Like, there's like even so. Look, let's be honest. There's a lot here that is white trash. I mean, Texas Roadhouse, Walmart, White Castles. We can go. I think we listed like at least 10
We
restaurants.
listed
Rallies,
legit maybe 20.
Denny's.
Yeah. So the conversation ended
Denny's,
up
Waffles House.
stemming to, and we just started classifying all of them and debating, hey, is this in this category or in this tier, right?
But
Yeah,
you-
but Richard said everything with a drive-through is white.
I said fast food.
Well, that's
I-
basically everything with a drive-through.
Not necessarily because it has a drive-through doesn't necessarily make it
okay,
fast food per se.
okay. So Qdoba Chipotle, white trash or not? First of all,
No.
what's our definition of white trash?
I
I mean, this is a slipper. This is a game that definitely
would
will get us
say
canceled in 5 years.
Boba white trash Chipotle, it's teetering, but not white trash.
It's in the upper tier.
So Qdoba is white trash, but Chipotle. Okay, no. Taco Bell is white trash.
Yes.
Qdoba
Yes.
and Chipotle isn't a different.
Oh,
That's the best example, right?
Taco Bell is trailer white trash, right?
there you go.
So you have levels of white trashdom.
Like,
That's
oh, nice. There
the
we
white
go.
trash that lives out in Avon, right? They're a little bit up
Yeah.
here, right? They're the ones that go to Qdoba.
Uh-huh.
And then you have the ones that are on Washington Street here right next to me. They go to Taco Bell.
There you go. There's the definition of it.
So, okay, I guess I've never considered Texas Roadhouse as being white trash.
I wouldn't either.
No, I mean,
It's a. I mean, honestly, if you want a steak,
hold on,
the value for
The
the money.
food's not good. Look,
hold on, time out,
the food is
time
not
out,
good.
time out. It does have peanuts all over the floor.
Thank
So-
you.
Hold on. It doesn't.
so
It
in all
doesn't anymore.
reality-
Hold on. It doesn't even anymore with the pandemic.
Well, okay.
Oh,
but
so
let's
for the
give it a
6 months, it won't have peanuts all over the floor.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it definitely has trash on the floor, so it is pretty close to white trash, I guess.
Right.
But you threw on like you said Olive Garden, Outback.
I didn't say
mean,
Outback.
I said
You
Outback.
should- oh yeah, what's wrong with you?
Why Outback, Jared?
Because I mean, to me, it's like it's always been like the white trash steakhouse. Like,
An onion.
go get a blooming onion and like
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't like
And a
Outback
Foster.
for some reason.
yeah, and some Fosters and a shrimp on the barbie.
And they're
Yeah,
going to
sure,
charge you
blah, blah,
$30
blah.
a plate for it.
Applebee's is definitely.
Yes.
What? Here's a good one. Red Lobster.
White
Dude, it's kind of but listen, we're judging it off of, we're simply judging it off of the location of where we know a Red Lobster is. Right,
Yeah.
I'm immediately thinking of the one
Absolutely.
on 31 in Thompson,
Thompson.
wherever that road
Oh,
is. Right, like
very
it just
handful of time.
yeah, it's the neighborhood, right? But I mean, in all reality, I think what we're doing is you're really naming the restaurants that are the cheapest
Yeah.
food for what, right? And
Cheapest food. You may have a bad experience there, customer service wise, right?
yeah,
We're all putting this in the same class, and you may have a bad experience with other patrons.
And their food is highly likely just microwaved.
Yeah.
right, or not correct.
Right.
Right? Like it's like it'd be like
Okay, I have the
Hardee's.
list. I have
it'd be like Kate.
hold
Go ahead.
scrolling through the list here. This is Jared's list. Steak and Shake,
Yes.
Definitely.
Denny's,
Yes.
Bubba's,
Yes.
Chili's.
Yes.
I'm borderline
Come on,
on
bro. I
Chili's.
worked at Chili's.
Chili's is borderline
Jared,
for me. Of all the
Yeah.
ones on the list so far.
Hold on.
Chili's.
Okay, but I feel like all of those restaurants are the same,
Yeah.
right?
Did-
Like your Chili's,
hold
your
on.
Applebee's, your Fridays.
Denny's is your definition of just like that is the standard for this classification is Denny's. But it's like you said, like you're saying, like Applebee's, Fridays are places that like basically are microwaving food. You know, it's not fresh. What you're getting is not fresh.
But what is? What's a restaurant you can go to around here that's fresh?
That I know that's gonna have like fresh food. What would you say? Cheesecake Factory is better?
Yeah, I mean, I to me all that's. I mean, I
BJ's?
like cheese. I like all of these places, so I mean, you know,
Look, it
but-
doesn't mean the food's not good. Like I just need
Right.
to reiterate.
right.
Like it doesn't necessarily mean you can't go in there and have a good time. You just have to admit what you're doing, right?
Right.
You're gonna,
Hey,
you're gonna
Skyline Chili all day. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just like, well,
Yeah.
I'm
love me
gonna
some
eat this today. You know,
What
it's
about Sonic?
fine. No, I don't think so.
Sonic's not. No way.
Why?
Same
Because
word.
they come out on
it's
rollerblades.
not white trash.
It's always clean and it's the customer
But-
service. You get what I'm
but see-
saying? I'm not gonna get cussed out.
The only place that's going to not happen is at Chick-fil-A. Any other place? Think about it. Any
Chick-fil-A
other face?
is white trash with pigtails and nice makeup.
Chick-fil-A
I-
is.
People go to Chick-fil-A just to say they went to Chick-fil-A. Like it's not.
Dude,
It's like
There's three foods you can get from Chick-fil-A. That's
I
it.
know, and they're all
I
fantastic.
think yeah.
I mean, what are you going to get at Wendy's? Chicken nuggets,
You can get
a
chicken
hamburger.
nuggets, you can get there. You can get fish. You
Sandwich,
can get there. You can get their beer burger.
Burger,
burgers.
salad.
Yep.
See, I don't ever like. I can't tell you the last time I've had Wendy's, Burger King, Sonic, any of those places.
I would say Chick-fil-A is successful for being exceptional at being mediocre.
But what? Yeah, but listen, when you go through the drive-through of a Chick-fil-A, you're going to have a better experience. You just are.
I really don't
go-
care.
man,
I just want you to give me my food.
It's the same line that I'm gonna wait at McDonald's. Like it's a lot of cars.
I know, but what I'm saying is that it's like walking into Target and then walking into Walmart. There's just a different vibe,
Sure.
right? Like you go to Hardee's, go to Popeyes, go to
Mhm.
freaking Taco Bell. Like it's gonna be some 12-year-old kid that barely speaks English and whatever, right? Like I mean, I don't know. I haven't been to those places in forever, but I can only imagine.
Cancel Blake.
Wow.
Oh, was that racist? What did I say? 12-year-old can't speak English? Jesus, I can't even say that.
Just kidding.
I know. I was like, I didn't even know what I said.
I just think Chick-fil-A is way overrated. It's not that good. Like
Yeah,
I never go out of my
right.
way to go to Chick-fil-A. I've never gone out of my way to Chick-fil-A.
Right. I'm
And
just saying.
I
that,
think
like,
and I think it's too because like my kid just loves it and it's just like, dude, like it's all the chicken is the same. It's the same chicken.
right.
You know?
But it also becomes a thing where you are so big and so popular and so busy where you go like, dude, all it is a chicken sandwich. Why is everybody loving this
Absolutely.
place? Like why? Like what makes them? What have they done? And I don't know if it's because they've kind of labeled themselves Christians or whatever. You know, I don't know if that helps. In the grand scheme of things or whatever. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's because they say my pleasure. They're doing. Maybe it is because they only have chicken. Like, hey, I want a chicken sandwich. That okay, cool. I'm gonna.
But you're not getting the
Chick-fil-A.
like KFC. I'm not putting that in the same tier as that. It's only chicken.
KFC
know what I'm saying?
white trash is.
There you go.
I mean, that's the capital, bro. You put the Colonel. Look at the Colonel. You put the Colonel at the top. I mean, he for sure had some slaves. I'm just saying.
Basically, yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on.
Yeah, I got canceled. I got canceled 3 times on that segment.
There you go.
All right, Blake, Jared? This was yours, right? Barbara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, your time to shine.
Whew. So, it was the first nice day. I can't remember. It was last week sometime. First nice day. All the neighbors are out. All the kids are out. We're just out mingling, just enjoying the sunshine as we do here in Indiana, getting our first vitamin D from the sun. And
Bro.
I pull out the grill. I find something that I don't remember where I found the recipe or heard about the recipe, but I made some bacon wrapped
Shrimp.
what?
Shrimp.
No, it was bacon wrapped
Anyways, it doesn't matter what you didn't get to enjoy.
whatever it was. Something. I threw it
Asparagus,
on
wasn't
the
it?
grill. My kids and the neighbor kids were asking me to push them on the swing over at the park, which is right across the street from my house. I turn it down as low as humanly possible on the on the grill, and I walk away for 10 minutes. Like I'd already flipped it a couple times. We're good. It's not, it's not crazy. Next thing you know, I'm over at the park, 5-8 minutes later, and I look down my street, and it's like it looks smoky, out in front of my house. Like, why is that? But I look to the back of my house, which is where my grill is, but you can't see it. It's just around the back corner of my house, and so I'm like, but it doesn't look bad there. And then next thing you know, my daughter and one of the neighbor girls come, Dad, the barbecue's on fire. And I'm like,
Oh man.
oh crap. So I take off running back to the house, and sure enough, it's just shooting flames out of the back of the barbecue, and my barbecue is like probably 2 feet from the house. So, and I made burgers and dogs on it all last year, no problem. There was never any, fire issues, but it was shooting out the back. I open it up and everything's charcoaled, and my siding is like melted, like
Dude, that's crazy.
melted.
You're so lucky that I didn't catch.
Yeah,
Right.
I would agree.
I mean, I have my grill fairly close to my side. I mean, it's, there's probably 3 or 4 feet, but I mean, obviously it doesn't take much to.
I'm trying to see if I can
get all that. It's probably all that grease from the bacon. You probably just had a.
Yeah, it's the grease from the bacon, and if you haven't cleaned that little part
man.
in between.
Yeah, mine's probably a little bit further than that, but yeah, it's. Well, man, I'm glad.
It's melted. So
I'm glad that didn't.
I just gotta find the right siding to replace it, and take out the melted couple tracks and throw in the new ones and drill them in, and I should be good to go. So not too much, no tragedy. My house didn't burn down, nothing like that. But I was worried
scary,
for
dude. Well, good. I'm glad it didn't become a whole lot worse.
Oh
Yeah, absolutely.
You
smell bacon down the street now, you're gonna freak out.
Yeah, right.
For real. All right, we got any more on the wheel?
Topics left.
Hit back scissors.
Religion after COVID.
So, religion after COVID. This was kind of yours, Kevin. What was your thoughts?
All right, so we basically were talking about Easter, and like this just sprung as an idea. It was as Blake was talking. It's like, hey, I'm basically at a packed church, 300 people, and nobody has a mask on. Like, right? So like, how do we do church after COVID? Church is like the most personable place in public. You shake hands, you hold hands, you give hugs. People do communions right after each other in the same cup at some churches. How does church change after COVID? Like, where do you guys see it? Will you participate in everything? There's some introverts that didn't want to do it anyway. Like some of the stuff I don't do anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like this is solidified for me.
Some people love church via the internet now, so
Right.
at home. But
Right.
which that's something that'll probably change. I don't know if any of you have been going to church lately or whatever. Like, so I don't know if you guys know, like the church we currently go to, like the way they've handled it kind of throughout is basically just distant everything. Like everything was like there was a whole lot. They added a service, they distanced the tables and the chairs and everything, and then they added a third service to where you had to wear masks. So if people didn't want to wear masks, they didn't have to go to. They can go to the first 2 services, but third service was strictly, they wanted everyone to feel comfortable. Which I thought they handled it the correct way.
Yep.
What I find interesting is that it does seem like most of the people that are very anti this whole COVID, the mask thing, even the vaccines, are very much of faith. Do you guys feel that way? Like, I feel like it's like every influencer, like, and listen, and maybe there's a reason. Maybe I don't know, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot of intelligent people out there, but I do that's just the one thing I kind of noticed, where it's just like everyone that is just like, whatever, so tied into their, faith or whatever, seem to be very like, no, this is the government's way to, control us and all that, right? So I don't know if you guys have sensed that or not.
But why though? Like I've had an argument about this. Like the lady said this because of my religion, but why? Like
it's
I just really
the way that the vaccine was made. So I think it was back in the 70s. They took cells from an aborted baby, and that's where this whole thing comes from. Now, with that being said, I think it's stem cell, I think is the technical term for it, the scientific term for it. So, with that being said, like the way that this was done, they didn't use cells directly from an aborted baby, but this is how this whole process kicked off and got started. Was I think it was back in the 70s, and so that's kind of how and
What
so
process? What process? The vaccine? Like
yes,
how vaccines
Picking any
came
vaccines?
about?
so I think maybe they use this for chickenpox. So and then also I think recently it hasn't been technically legal to do it, but I think because of this whole COVID thing and they wanted this done quickly, they've loosened a lot of restrictions on it. Um, so with that being said, I know with Catholics, there's this thing where even though something isn't bad on face, if it could cause or was created from a bad cause, they cannot do it, right? Even if it's 6 degrees of separation. So even though to create this, they didn't directly use the aborted cells, because this whole thing was kicked off from that, they do not believe in it.
From the idea of it.
Yes.
I see. I guess I didn't know that angle of it. I I don't know. I think it's just more of the controlling. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like that's been the and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just I don't know.
People don't want to be controlled. Like, I mean, with the mask mandate being lifted, I've like on Facebook groups, like I'm on different, like, I don't know if you guys have them down where you live, but like up here we have chatter groups where it's like Fisher's Chatter or Noblesville Chatter, and it's just people, and there's people going on there and they're like, okay, what places aren't requiring me to wear a mask now? Like asking all that, and and obviously there's going to be a divide on where you stand on it, and I respect both sides, but at the same time, like, to me it's just a courtesy thing. Like, if I can do something that would keep somebody else from being sick, I don't know if you guys saw my Facebook post today, but today was like my 1 year anniversary of when I posted about my COVID. And it kind of just brought up some memories and some feelings of when I was going through that, and when I had, when I was sick as hell, and
right.
like, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want anyone to have to endure that, even though there's a high mortality rate, or a very low mortality rate to it. Like there's a high chance that you're going to survive this. Still, it's about being respectful for other people. And it's just like, like, yes, I get it. You don't want to be controlled. You don't want to, but like, I mean, it's the same reason I'm going to go eventually get the vaccine whenever that's a possibility, to get an appointment, like I'm just going to do it out of sheer, respect and courtesy to my fellow human beings that I'm around, as opposed to looking at it like it's some, government scheme or some, and not to say that all those are crazy. There might be some validity and some truth to some of that. I'm not discounting that, but there's more science and more truth that comes from that I just can't really look past. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was thinking today that this is going to become the next big media ordeal, where people are freaking out about other people not getting the vaccine. Like this is going to be this is the next divide. This is oh, you're horrible. You don't care about people because you won't get the vaccine. And then some people are going to be like, they're going to be like the fact that there's been some talks that you can't travel, you can't fly until you're vaccinated. Like that is literally making people do something. And for whatever reason, there's a lot of people out there, which I kind of get. Like, you're going to make me put something in my body. I don't know how this is going to affect my body. This is a test run. Right? Like, you're literally making me put something in my body that has caused a pandemic. So like I get where some people are uncomfortable with, whatever, the vaccine. I don't get that. I just live my life. I don't do the flu shot. Like I said, I've been doing the vitamins that they recommend and stuff like that. So it's like I feel like I'm at least doing that. But what's going to happen is that it's literally going to be a question mark every time you walk into a place. You're not going to know. It's all. My boss went to a pizza place. Yeah, he went to a pizza place today. He went to get his pizza. The guy told him to put his mask on, and he was like, "Well, it's been lifted, right?" And he was like, "Well, my boss, we excuse me, we want you to wear it." And he was like, "Well, okay, I guess I'll just go somewhere else because I don't have one and I'm not going to put it on." So this is
every business has that right.
This is the very beginning of this is full circle. We're at the very beginning of the pandemic again. And now we're going to start all over. Where it's just so much confusion, man. To me, you all know the risk, enter at your own risk. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, don't wear a mask. In all reality, the percentage of people that are getting it and dying it are so freaking small. So small. I still can't believe we're dealing with this. And we're going to start all over. All for some media gain.
Yeah, and on the other side, I can't believe that we're just lifting it so early. Like, we don't have strong enough data.
But it's been over a year.
I understand.
Like, how much longer, though, Kevin? Like, that's the thing.
But it's only been a year. We don't know this. We don't know the side effects of the vaccine. First of all, we're not guaranteed that all this works. So why are we taking masks off? You know what I'm saying? And on the other side,
vaccines if they don't work, like, you know what I'm saying? Like what? That's what the vaccine. That's the healer.
So we don't
healer
know
in this situation.
What we don't know is how long the vaccine works.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
That's ongoing. Right now, they know it lasts 6 months. Right now, they know. They'll test again next month, and they'll say, "Oh, it works 7 months," and they'll test the next month, and they'll say, "Okay, it works 8 months." Like, that's what they're
gonna go by the average.
Right. That's what they're trying to establish right now. And so I think there's a few points we have to make out. One, the data that them saying that the death rate is so low is bad data. Because if you just let everybody go nilly-willy, we don't know what that data is. We don't know what that actual data would have been if we would not have put in all these protections, right? We don't know what kind of mutations we would have had. The death rate would have been much higher because all the older people would have probably died. And all those who are, more prone to the sickness would have died. So you would have had a much higher death rate. So that data that they're spitting out about death rates is bad. It's not any good because there's no way to prove the opposite. It's like asking you to prove that God is real. Like, you can't. It's not there for me to tell you. So it amazes me when people throw out the flu argument, right? That's one of the things that amazes me is the flu argument, right? I think the flu, like, in 2019 killed like 18,000 people. Okay. So how many people just in the US did COVID kill? 500,000. So it's not the flu. That's ridiculous. Not only did we have that many people die, but we tried to prevent it actively. The flu, we don't give a shit. So people can't tell me that.
Yeah. We tried to prevent this, and still that many people got it, and we
still failed at it. Yeah.
Failed at it. Not only that, but they're coming out with new studies. That one that I linked to yesterday that said 1 in 3 people that have COVID within 6 months have had some sort of brain issue. 1 out of 3.
See, that's why Jared's over there grilling the house.
That's what I was going to say. That explains a lot about Jared. Hold on. That explains why Jared thinks that he can score on Jordan.
Boom.
Which I am wearing his shirt right now. It all makes
Hey.
sense.
No
And
brainer.
then we go back to the business thing, right? Like people are gonna lose customers over this, but businesses are trying to keep their employees safe, right? I know we're on the downstroke of it, but it's the same as no shoes, no shirts, no service, right? If you want that, you play by the rules. And I would just like to know on the front of the door. Like and I think the thing that causes the confusion is like everybody has their own thing. It's like that's what's unfair for your average person. It's just like, what are we doing, right? Like, can we do it
From the
all
beginning.
together, or we're right back.
Go back a year and listen to these podcasts. I guarantee you, we're going to be talking about the same
In the same
thing.
sense.
I don't know. I guess to me,
It's just
it's
frustrating.
like, I wish some of the fear of it would be lifted. I mean, look, like when I go to lunch and stuff, like I'll see people walking outside by themselves, like along the interstate or whatever, or not the interstate, but the road, Michigan Road, and it's just like they have a mask on.
Yeah, but
I'm
you don't
just
know
like-
why they have that mask on. Who are they trying to
And-
protect at home? That's the problem.
But
It's like,
they're out, like they're outside. Like we are talking.
They're in their
about,
car.
like, the
the-
smallest chance.
That's
They're
right.
driving in their car.
Yeah, like they have a better chance of getting hit by lightning on a sunny day than catching COVID just walking outside in a sunny day.
I honestly
I mean,
think
come
like
on.
because I've talked to about my wife, like the people you see with the mask on more, it's just because they wear it all day at work.
Yep.
They're just used to it. Like it's
I
more of a
think
comfortable thing. Like it's always on.
I do think people have become comfortable, and to some, it probably covers up a little bit of their ugliness. So
There
I'm
you
just
go.
kidding. It helps me. I
You know
look
what
good
I'm
from the
saying?
eyes
Yeah.
up.
I talked to a guy at work, and he's like, "Man, I'm kind of glad we still do the mask because like it hires me, it covers me up because I chew all day. So like nobody knows that I'm chewing when I'm talking to them because I got this mask on.
I just can't stand not being able to see their mouth, like them smile,
Their mouth
or
was, yeah.
the
the
mannerism
reaction.
like that. Yeah, we gotta figure that out for sure. But
But
anyways,
it's also about the employers. If they've got an employee that gets sick and they happen to be in that small percentage that dies,
Absolutely, yeah.
they're trying to
They
cover their ass to say,
Yeah.
hey, it was a
It's
a
tough.
requirement. They chose not to, or they still got sick. It's not on us. You know,
The employee's
Well,
going to say that you put me at risk.
well, and that's going to be the interesting thing if customers can sue, we'll be able to sue a place. Yeah, but then again, if
They're not gonna be able to track
if this,
it to a
yeah,
place.
if the state says, no mask required, then you can't go after a business for doing what the state says.
Right.
So, like I said, open it up, let people make their money. If you feel uncomfortable, wear a mask.
I think it is opened up, though, man.
it is.
I feel like the
Yeah,
ones the ones that didn't survive probably weren't going to survive anyway. Almost like a Thanos
Well,
theory, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah,
but
I feel
that's
like I
tough.
feel like
mean,
people adapt. I feel like people adapted, and like we are open. I feel like we are open.
but not everybody could adapt. There's
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, not
probably don't
everybody
know
could adapt.
anyone. You probably don't know anyone that's been affected towards lost their job, lost their career, lost their business, right? And to be fair, I don't really know of anyone either. But
Right.
there's millions of people out there that have, So and then
Right.
once again, go ahead.
I was listening to Joe Rogan. I forget what her name was. It was a chick talking about the comedy industry.
Oh
It was
yeah,
it was one Thursday or something like that.
right.
And
Yeah,
she was talking about how the she basically had to go on unemployment because she wasn't working,
right.
and comedians have to figure it out too. So like that's another spectrum. A lot of them went to podcasting and YouTube and all that stuff, and like
Yeah, it's just, but I don't know. I just think in the end they could have figured out how to make it work. Like we've said
Is
in
it-
previous podcasts, there was restaurants in LA that were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to provide an outdoor seating, for their restaurants, and then people come in and say that that's not allowed anymore when there's no scientific proof that sicknesses are coming from restaurants. Like
Right.
these are the things, right? This is
well,
said
California
a
is
million
still not
times.
open, right?
No.
California apparently is like
So
everyone's
that's
leaving.
that's
There's bums all over the road. People
Yeah.
are crapping all over the place. Like
yeah.
from the apparently they're leaving they're leaving by the
They can't afford
thousands.
it. They can't
can't
afford
afford
it because the price of living is so that's the extreme to me. Like I feel like what we're doing in Indiana, that's cool. If you just gotta wear a mask, you gotta wear a mask, right? But
Yeah,
their actual business, like California, is actually shut down.
like
So that's the
straight up.
extreme. You know what I'm saying?
And for no reason. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure there's a reason. I'm sure there's some high cases or whatever, but it's like, but once again, like you can't tell me that because it's a restaurant that people are getting sick here. Like it'd be one thing if that was where the breakout was. It was in certain foods and people are getting it and we don't know.
Yeah.
Let's say it's salad, right? And we don't know
Mhm.
which restaurant got which salad, but for sure you can't go there, you know, but whatever, right? Like, but it's not. It's like there's no, from what I know, from what I've heard, there's no proof. There's no proof that's coming from restaurants. So it's like, why are you shutting so many people down? It just, I don't know, man.
I've seen quite a few videos where like the health inspectors come in and like shut coffee places down that have like an open outdoor seating and shutting them down, not really giving much reason. And they go across the street or drive down the road and there's restaurants. You can't go inside the four walls, but you can go outside inside the tent, the plastic tent that has four walls and a roof. And suddenly you're immune from, that's okay. But going inside a building isn't.
I saw a video today
Great.
of this couple on the airplane, and the lady was pregnant. She had a 2-year-old on her lap.
Saw that.
And the 2-year-old was eating, and they were basically kicking them off the plane because they wouldn't put a mask on the 2-year-old.
That's why you don't run
The
airlines.
couple was being pretty nice about it. What'd you say?
I said that's why you don't ride Spirit Airlines. That's called white trash.
Is that what it was?
Oh yeah.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah. But like I guess even the rule, even the on the ticket, whatever it said, 5 and under doesn't have to wear a mask. But they literally, made a big scene, kicked them off the plane, all this stuff, and it's just like, man, like all for what? Like all for what? Because a 2-year-old that it's not even going to affect, doesn't have a mask on. Like once again, you keep your mask on if you're that worried about it, right? I mean, that 2-year-old's not affecting anyone. And now you screwed up this whole family vacation. Like it's enough, man. Mm-hmm. It's enough. It's enough.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways.
For a whole state to still be shut down, that's crazy. It baffles me. While Florida has been open this whole time.
I think he came out today. They were going to be reopened by like June 15th or something. The whole state would be back reopened.
Nice.
So.
Ready to party.
Yeah.
What's that last topic, Richard?
There is a scientific research out there that does state that within 6 weeks of restaurants and masks being lifted, you'll probably see a rise in cases. So there is a, science to it. Out there.
I mean, how can you figure it? I mean, I guess because there's gathering
because the minute you raise the mask mandate and open restaurants, if there's a rise in cases, then that's it. Right.
Right. But that could be at grocery stores, which we've been going to all along. I mean, it's
But people wear masks at grocery stores.
It's whoever's delivering the groceries. It's whoever's putting them on the shelves. It's whoever's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but are these cases going to be from? Are these new cases going to be from people who have had the vaccine, or a majority of these cases going to be from people who are unwilling to get the vaccine?
Yeah, that would be the good question too.
That'll definitely
I want to see data on that.
That'll definitely be what you hear on the news. This person not vaccinated caused, right? I mean, it's just they're going to have so much fun with this. They are. Oh, well, enjoy the ride.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yep.
We ready to wrap it up?
We got one more?
That was it. Mask mandate.
That was it?
Yeah.
I figured it kind of was going to go together, so.
Yeah. I thought
good. All right, boys.
That's
Another
awesome.
one in the books.
All right.
We're going to California.
Hit that DMX.
Your video is cool.
Yeah, exactly.